Our events roundup features 8 stories, while our MMM Gives Back highlighted 3 children's home as our beneficiary this week. All this happened in MMM Nigeria. And Guider Emil San Juan shared his thoughts in his Just an Opinion segment. To all our viewers around the world, you are watching MNC. Blaring horns and noise from vehicles passing nearby can be heard all the time. But this did not deter Guider Ogunleye OPME from making a comprehensive offline presentation about MMM for the people of Ibadan in Oyo State last August 5, 2016.
Good morning. Welcome to MMC.
He started off with a short welcome message and introduced himself. From there, he was in the zone and his voice was steady as if there was no noise at all when he presented to his audience MM's history, ideology, benefits, and how the platform works. He explained too the use of Bitcoin and how the MMM community influenced the growth of the digital currency. Before ending, he also made sure that his invites understood clearly MMM's frequently asked questions, the risks involved in joining, and the rules of safe participation. While Guider Ogunleye had to endure the noise, Guider Ezekiel Diri was luckier that same day because his venue was free from disturbance and had a good sound system in place. This was inside a room at the Knowledge Development Center in Port Harcourt, Rivers State.
He was arrested in 2007.
Where he had about 3 dozens of people in attendance. They were very attentive as he tells them different topics about the MMM community and how it functions. He was thorough and was also quick to remind them not to treat MMM as a get-rich-quick investment scheme where they would put all their money. He told them that as a community of donation exchange, MMM's continuity depends on them donating regularly using their spare funds. The next day, August 6, 2016, was another busy day for guiders of MMM Nigeria as our next 5 events will prove. First of which was organized by Guider Popula Olufemi Gabriel at the CG Royal Fast Eatery at Iana School in Iva, Lagos State.
The Mabrodi is coming from the name of the founder. The name of the founder of MMM is Segi Mabrodi.
If you recall, we have already featured him on 2 previous episodes holding events on the same venue. And like his other presentations, his discussion on that day was also short, straightforward, but thorough and ended again in less than an hour. It doesn't mean though that he skipped or cut short some topics because he was still able to cover all topics that you normally found on an offline presentation. From MMM history and founder, its ideology and how it works, down to the bonuses, risks and rules on safe participation. And like on his other events, he closed another successful gathering by answering questions from his guests.
For this community to move forward, it all depends on the participants. It all depends on your actions and your inaction for it to move forward.
That was Guider Leonard Unyebu's reminder to his audience during his August 6 offline presentation at the Southern Spice Eatery in Ojodu, Ikeja. When he said those words, he was talking about the risks involved in MMM and the possibility of post-mode. He again mentioned the same thoughts when he was telling them about the personal responsibility of MMM participants and the roles they should actively fulfill to help build the community. Before that, he was already able to discuss in detail how the system works and the many benefits it offers to participants. Guider Leonard also asked some members to stand up and share their experiences within the MMM Nigeria community. Questions were entertained too at the latter part of the program. While Guider Leonard was busy in Ojodo Keja, Guider Titus Idu was also engaging his audience on an in-depth discussion of MMM at the Channel View Hotel in Calabar, River State on the same day.
Exchange between us, members in the community. When I mean between us, members in the community.
He first gave an overview of what MMM, and on his next topic, who we are. He narrated to them the timelines on how MMM evolved from a Russian company that collects money using a centralized account back in 1990s to its rebirth as a global community of people doing peer-to-peer donation exchange in 2011. He then talked about MMM's ideology, where he explained that through the power of giving, the community aims to create a fair system where money will no longer be a problem. He also demonstrated how to operate the personal office, especially on how to provide help and get help. From Calabar, we now move to Ogodo in Lagos State as MMM Nigeria Eagles team under Guider Avia Marshall had their live presentation also on August 6. It was held around lunchtime at the Magrelos Food with about a dozen people in attendance.
Thank you. Just put in this 20K.
Guider Avia used a live MMM personal office as his aid in explaining different aspects of MMM community and its system. In explaining Mavro, he taught them on how to interpret things they see in the Mavro page. He also encouraged those who plan to join and become active to take advantage of the Guider School. He enticed them by showing that through becoming a Guider, they will be able to benefit from the efforts of people below their direct referrals. During the presentation, one member was given opportunity also to give his testimonial. Our next event also happened on August 6, was at the Abaya Hotels in Ava, Abaya State. It was not your regular MMM presentation where PowerPoint slides are the norm.
We have MMM, Ghana, Togo, South Africa, and all that.
On that day, 100-plus Guider Chisom Lawrence started off by showing to his audience the official site of MMM Nigeria. And instead of going through the usual history ideology talk, he showed them where to find them and the other important information about MMM from the website itself. From there, he discussed in detail how the registration and login processes goes. He next demonstrated to his guests how to navigate the different parts of the MMM personal office and the process involved in each section. All throughout, he used a real MMM account and gave tips on what to do best and what to avoid so members can navigate their accounts with ease and also protect it from fraudsters. The venue was already filled to capacity at the beginning, but new chairs were brought in half an hour after the presentation started because other guests were still coming in. Before moving to a new topic, questions were allowed and Guider Chisom and his teammates helped each other to explain things thoroughly. The event lasted for over an hour, but it was never boring because Guider Chisom was very good at throwing banters that generated laughter from his audience. Our last story is from Ibadan, Oyo State, where a big number of people gathered at the Obesan Hall in Dugbi to listen to Guider Jegedi Tsunemi Tosin's offline presentation last August 6.
Among ourselves. That is just what MMM is about.
In discussing topics about the MMM platform, he shared with them two reasons why he joined the community. First is that, as a peer-to-peer system, MMM simply matches people who wants to send and receive donation without directly collecting money from members. Second is that the community has about 138 million members in more than 100 countries, proving its wide acceptance. He also told his attendees that Sergei Mavrody's dream is to prepare a fair financial system for every individual so they no longer need to borrow from banks or other people. And to those who are having second thoughts, this was his message.
So it is going to actually still spread more than you can imagine. That is why you need to take this opportunity and run with this dream as fast as you can.